Welcome to Sing Scarlet. It is Shelby here with Tyler for our Monday recap episode. And we got soccer. Lots of soccer because our soccer team is in first place in the Big 12 with 3 games to go. A massive one this week on Thursday. We've had this circle for a while. They took care of business this weekend like they needed to in Arizona. We're going to talk about their latest win over Arizona that happened earlier today here in a second. But big one at Colorado Thursday, top 10 team. We're going to take them on. We got a preview of them. We are going to go through that football game a little bit. Some people need to chill. Y'all need to take a chill pill. It is one game. But we'll talk about it, the highs and the lows of that. A few highs, a lot of lows, and get into what's next. We have secret, not so secret scrimmage information on basketball for y'all. Some scores came out today, some high performers, wink, wink. You can click the categories below if you want to jump ahead, but why would you want to do that? Just watch the show. And then, of course, volleyball. They drop one to a ranked team in BYU, and they have another ranked team ahead because that is Big 12 volleyball for you. Hard life over there in the volleyball Big 12 world.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was kind of hard life for everybody in the Big 12 world other than soccer this week, so
Our
give
gals
it to
saving
them.
us.
Yeah, shout out to soccer because otherwise it was I told Shelby, I said, you know what? Like I'm gonna need soccer to score 2 goals against Arizona tomorrow and win by 2 because like it's just gonna be depressing in general. So they answered the call. Not that a win would have not have made me be happy, but I just felt like
Of
we needed an
course.
extra goal just to add on to the just to relieve some of the pain from yesterday's football game. So soccer came through. So thank you for answering
Yeah.
the call.
I mean, I responded to Tyler's text and I said, soccer's got us. Like, I'm not worried.
Yeah,
This
we're
was a
not
win.
worried.
After Thursday, they're going to handle business. They got it done. But yeah, we can jump into that. Soccer won 2-0 over Arizona today. Took care of business. On the road, a double. It was hot, apparently. You could tell the players were really feeling the October heat that was still going on in the desert. Tom talked about it after the game. That they didn't get super lucky with the temperatures in Arizona this time of year, and he said that it was a full team win, and they had to use a lot of players. I think they got 19 players into this game today. Lauren Woodruff played like the entire second half at center back, which was good to see. I think she spotted Eleanor Hayes. So that's great. Going into a big week, you saw Gianna get in there. You saw Emma Torres get in there. You saw Skylar, everybody. I think even Lainey Malini got in the game at some point to end it. So yeah, it was a true team effort, a shutout win. The team talked about wanting to get a shutout after giving up 2 uncharacteristic goals, even if they were great goals, which they were, just to put the ball in those spots. They didn't want to do that again. Got the shutout, and Taylor Strzeski, Tyler called it. Really went out on a limb with that one. Uh, got it done.
Risky call.
Risky call. But our leading goal scorer up there, eking up on the Big 12 lead, is at 13 now, Taylor. And then Raleigh Greason, our freshman, as Tom said, all she does is make bangers. She doesn't make the run of the mill goals. She just makes bangers, is what Tom Stone said after the game. And it was a banger to start the game. Another one within the first 10 minutes, and then Z's came later on a beautiful pass from Macy. They were, I don't know the actual soccer terminology of what you would call how they were guarding Macy, but it was very box and one basketball to me. Like they
Mhm.
had someone like just marking her, like I feel like everywhere on the field, and then when she'd get the ball, there'd be like 4 people on her. It was hilarious. I almost screenshotted it 4 times. It'd be like Macy in between like 5 people. I was like, well, they definitely know who Macy is. But she got loose one time, and she cooked that outside back like I said she would. That girl was trying to catch up to her, couldn't do it. Shout out Emily McCartney, made a great pass to get that run going, and you'll see it in the replay. And just Macy is just so good. Like it's not like just a kick. Like she's like this way and then flicks it with the outside of her foot over to Z, who makes a tough finish look easy. And we were up 2-0. I mean, what more do you want, Tyler?
Yeah, it looked, I mean, that second goal, I mean, you could just tell, like, I don't know, like every time Macy has the ball, like you can tell when that drive or whatever you call it in soccer is about to be a goal because just the way that she carried the ball like all the way down to the
Yeah.
field, I was like, yeah, Macy, this is going to turn into a goal. Like, I don't know who's going to be there to help her get the goal. And of course, Z came through. So shout out to Z. But like, you just saw
Of
that and you
course.
were just like, yeah, like this is going to turn into a
Bro,
goal. This is a Macy assist. You can just like tell. And then
she
before
has that
that,
much
Raleigh's
space for
rocket
sure.
was just insane. I mean, this is like the second, third time she's done it from that distance before. So I mean, keep
All
it
she
up,
does is
Raleigh.
make
I mean,
bangers. Yeah.
I know all she
It's
does.
crazy. And she's just getting better and more consistent with them. And she took her time with this one too. Like she waited, had space, and then it's like she's hanging out with Z, which is great. She's watching Z with the way that Z gets it off so quickly. I don't know, but they're just such a fun pairing together. And I don't know like how much that really matters in soccer, but I feel like it matters to have like a player that complements you in that way, like it does in any sport. And I feel like they're different type of forwards, and they complement each other so well. Like Taylor is the one that can just she can do a little bit of it all, but she can just straight up score. Like she's just a goal scorer. Raleigh is too, but Raleigh will just outwork you as well, and so she does a lot of the dirty work so that Z can kind of be Z. But then it's really cool when Raleigh gets a chance to like yam one and get one for herself, which is what happened in this one. And she led the team in shots, 5 shots. They interviewed her after the game. Did you watch the post game interview with Raleigh by chance? Or did you already turn it off by then?
Turned it off by
Oh,
then.
I didn't get to record it, so I can't show it to you. But I told you before when she was in the post game in one of the games, I was like, Raleigh is so chill. Like she does not handle herself like a freshman. I told you that after whatever game. You got to see this interview because she even threw the ESPNU broadcasters off with like how calm she was with all of her answers, and they were just like, "Well, Raleigh, you're super calm right now after doing that." And she was just like, "Yeah, well, preparation and my team trust me, and they've been encouraging me to shoot." And she's like, I don't believe that she's 18 years old. I don't believe it at all. But she did great. Scored for us, got us going. And then you talked about that relationship or that run, I believe it would be called, with Macy up to Z. And Tom talked about their relationship after the game, and he said it's fun to watch that relationship because Macy knows very clearly what kind of balls Z needs, to which foot she needs it, when she needs it. It's all calculated. Macy's very calculated, and Z also knows Macy can get me this anywhere I need it. She's like the quarterback. If you are open, she'll reward you, and Z has made a mill out of that several times. It's true. 10 of Taylor's 24 career goals have come off of a Macy Blackburn assist. Quite the little duo. And again, they really didn't start playing with each other until last year. So, and midway through non con, they really started heating up about this time last year because Taylor went crazy to end the year. And so it's about a full calendar year now that they're doing what they're doing. So they're really special to watch for sure. And yeah, just overall, I don't know if this is true, but you can agree or not, it feels like we're playing more aggressive than I've seen in past years, and maybe it's because
Oh
of the
yeah.
attacking players we have. And you have Macy, and you have Kylie, and you have Molly who can play up and be a defender, and you have all these attacking players, but maybe we're trying to take advantage of it. But then that sometimes does leave us more vulnerable to these counterattacks, which we saw today. Arizona had a couple of really good chances, one early off the post, but
Ooh.
for the most part, while it's terrifying to watch, Emily McCartney. I think Tom said chill like the ocean, I think is what he called her after the game. I was like, what a quote. I want to do a story on Emily and Eleanor, and I was like, that's gonna be a great quote in the title, chill like the ocean. And that's how she plays. Like I think I messaged you. I was like, Emily like makes these ridiculously terrifying plays look so
Oh yeah.
chill, like so calm.
All the
Like she
time.
light work, I think is what I said. And she did that multiple times today. And I was like, oh no, oh no. And then Emily's like, just taps it. And not even taps it out for a corner, like taps it out for a throw in, like unconcerned, heads it out of traffic. And then Eleanor is kind of her partner in crime, and she's more of like the strong one that'll take on the players that are big, which we're going to need at Colorado, who has a big forward. Like she'll
Mhm.
kind of out muscle people for the ball. So they become a fun duo, and he talked a lot about her in the post game. You can watch that. We're gonna show you a clip, but it doesn't have that in it. But yeah, overall, just good team win, and if I'm okay with that style of play personally, because I think we want to kind of squeeze the orange, is what we said all of 2023's run. I feel like this team is trying to squeeze the orange of really talented seniors, and letting the juniors and sophomores and freshmen get to play with them as long as possible. And why not try to go win the whole damn thing, not just try to get in the tournament, And I feel like that's how they're starting to play. And yes, it does make them vulnerable sometimes, but it also makes them score 5 goals on a weekend, which we just weren't seeing at some points in the past. So I don't know if that's accurate or not, but it feels like that's what's happening, and I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
Terrifying
I
at
like it
times,
too.
but it's fun.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that one that hit the crossbar was definitely terrifying, not early in the game, but
Probably
at the
got a little
same
lucky there,
time,
but we still would
yeah,
have won 2-1 probably.
we probably would. Yeah, we probably would have won 2-1. But at the same time, it's like you do want to have you want to be the aggressor, and you are going to want to get more shots, and especially now with the way that how good the Big 12 is and how fast this title race has kind of heated up. I mean, at this point, we have like we control our own destiny, and we have to win these games. We can't play for draws. We can't do any of that. So you almost have to be. We really don't have a choice. Like we have to be aggressive now on offense and try to get as many goals as we can. And then if situations happen like Arizona State, like that's when that
Just
comes
go
in the
in.
clutch. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just got to go in and just get another goal. So, I mean, I definitely like how we're playing right now. I think we're looking really good. It's good that we were able to get on the board early. And then today, I think it showed a lot of growth. Like, okay, in the second half, we weren't really messing around. Yeah, Arizona looked a little bit better than they did in the first half, but we weren't giving them near as many
Yeah.
like scary looks, if you will. We were more,
We were also
better
very
on
deep,
defense.
and we were also very deep in our bench. And that's not to say the players coming off our bench aren't very good. They are,
Right.
but the chemistry is not the same because they're not
Hmm.
haven't played as much together. So you're not making those great runs and those great combinations that you do with the starting group. But yeah, we still had some good chances. There was a couple of really good looks in the second half. Peyton went off the crossbar after the the keeper saved it off the crossbar. Raleigh had a one-on-one moment with the keeper, tried to kind of chip it around her and hit the side of the net because she stole it. Like there was still good attacking moments. We weren't like living in our defensive end by any means. So that was good. A little different than the Arizona State game. Carried over that momentum maybe into this one. But here's a clip from Tom Stone, and then we'll show you the highlights.
Was not kind to us in Tempe and not so kind in Tucson where it was really hot, but it's a grind, man. The Big 12 on the road, 2 in a row. We're fortunate that they're only, an hour and 40 minutes apart, but it took every bit of most of our roster to get through both games. After giving up the lead on Thursday and getting it back at the end, we're pretty emotionally and physically drained. Our sports performance team did an unbelievable job getting everybody ready. And then, Raleigh and Z scoring again. Z's 13th, Raleigh's third. And Raleigh doesn't score the run-of-the-mill goals. She just scores bangers. So we were happy for her, and what a great way to start the game for us to get that goal and get moving forward on these guys.
Sundays are always a grind. How is the team able to find a way to close it out with a clean sheet?
In general, the level is overall lower, and so you just have to ask more unselfish running, more unselfish support of the ball, more people who are maybe hitting the wall a little bit and just ignoring it, or us getting them out and getting a fresh young player in to relieve them. We used a lot of our roster today, and I think that had a big role. Lauren Woodruff came on and played the whole second half and part of the first half and got the shutout. Obviously, we got one of the best keepers in the country on our team, so give the back line and the holding mids credit. They were under some pressure, and they bent a little but never broke. So getting the shutout was important, especially after giving up two kind of uncharacteristically, although they were both great goals Arizona State scored. It wasn't like us to give that up, and so we talked about getting that shutout today.
Senior from Carrollton, Texas.
So let's watch how it happened now. This is about the bang. The announcer was hilarious. He lost his mind.
And the Red Raiders strike first on the road.
How many goals is that in the first 10 minutes this year?
We need to look it up. It was 8 in the first 5 minutes. They put out that graphic the other day. But I do think we've had a couple at least that have been in the 5 to 10 range, including this one. So maybe about 10. I'd have to look that up. But hopefully we'll have more. You're going to see lots of replays of this goal, if I remember right. Tom coaching even after we score. We love it. This was off a throw-in, by the way, from Peyton Parsons. Just tosses it right into Raleigh. She turns and goes. So Peyton Parsons got the assist on that. The rare assist in soccer from your hands. I felt like I was watching basketball for a second. I understand those assists. Those make sense. Let's Macy just messing around with some pull. Here we go. I think Raleigh's going to take another hack here. Just goes a little high. She almost had a second goal. She was, like I said, 5 shots in this game. And she said post-game, she's like, my teammates are encouraging me to shoot it. She's like, sometimes I feel like I'm being selfish, shooting it too much. But she said, no, her teammates have been telling her to shoot it, Raleigh, shoot it. So she took that to heart in this game, and she led us in shots.
Oh,
5
so
shots.
close.
Just good to, test the keeper. Give him something. Here's the play. That was a great pass by Emily. That girl cannot keep up with Macy.
See, you can just tell. Yeah.
Oh, that's pro. I mean, that's a
Dang,
pro
the keeper did the
pass, pro
split.
finish. Watch the replay. You'll get to see what I'm talking about with Macy. Like, she doesn't just like front toe it over. Like, she kind of like dekes it, and then she sides of the foot. She hits it with the side of her foot over as she's running to the left. Very basketball point guardy, to continue the basketball thing. Y'all know how much I love point guards and talking about that. That's what this was. They're going to show another replay from the angle. You'll get to see it off her foot. Right here. Watch her. Side of her foot. Whoop.
Whoa.
Perfect spot. Z knew where to go. Their chemistry is getting so good, like Tom said. It's like they can read each other's mind a little bit right now, and that's scary for other teams in those kind of transition moments where they're trying to react. They don't have time to react. Macy and Z are going to win those battles every time.
There you go. Faith win.
Yeah, she had 3 saves, I think, in this game. Nothing crazy, too super dangerous. The most dangerous chance, like we said, was the one that they hit off the post. A great Raleigh just took it from her and took another hack side of the netting. Like, I think the broadcasters are saying like maybe she could have passed it over to Z, but like I don't want to take Raleigh's aggressiveness from her. Like I think we need that mindset from Raleigh. You know what I mean? Like if it becomes an issue,
yeah.
Tom will definitely let her know. But I think they've been wanting to get her to get to there. Like this, take 5 shots a game, Raleigh Grayson. Like take some hacks out there. Give them something else to think about besides Z. I mean, that was close. Kylie takes a hack. I don't hate it. Kylie's gonna get her first goal in Colorado. I'm gonna put it in home state. She's trying out there. So we had a lot of good chances. This is the one that Peyton's gonna send from deep. Tried to chip it over the keeper that had come out. Keeper gets a hand on it, hits it off the post. I think the broadcast again was saying like, I'd like to see them carry it farther in like they were earlier. Come on. I like it. Take a hack. Because she didn't really have, like, who was she going to pass it to? Nobody? There was nobody up there. Her and Raleigh, I guess. Okay. Another Faith save. Faith was just really good at making things not be dangerous because of the way she played the ball. Like, she was coming out on balls like that. There's a couple of maybe 1 or 2 corners. She just came out and took it out of the air. There's a couple of lofted balls into the box where she said, I'm not even going to allow this to get into the 6. And she just ran and got it. So she was really good at, like, proactive goalkeeping. So I would say using her athleticism to just go get the ball before it even could become a problem in this game. And that's what kind of Faith does the best, is she can do that. Very quick, very fast, and can jump. There you go. You get to see the streak. Unbeaten. We have 1 more to go, and it's a big one. If they get that one, that would be a hell of a streak. We will hype the shit out of that all over the internet if they can extend that 1 more year by beating a top 10 team on the road. But yeah, I mean,
gosh, we do have 1 more regular season Big 12. That's crazy.
There's one more, and it's a massive
So
one. It's
fast.
it was the same thing last year. We were like, oh, can they actually get through West Virginia? Can they actually do this again and keep it going? Because West Virginia is the last team they lost to on the road, 2021, and they went up there and won that game in the rain with the PK, and so good, and that kind of like sealed their tournament fate. Like, which is wild. The difference between last year and this year, or like that, we needed that game to even be like, oh, they're in the tournament, and that we were still in the hunt for the Big 12 championship. The difference between last year and now, because of the RPI situation, the Big 12 is wild to me. Like, we should be well into the tournament now, especially after this weekend and all that stuff. Now it's about how high of a seed can you get. So, yeah, any other thoughts about this one? Thought they just handled business. They look like the better team. Starting to see a little bit of swagger to this team out there that I like to see. Looks like a team that stepped on the field and knows that they're better and they're going to win. And I think that it's the edge that maybe was missing earlier in the year. Not for everybody. Lord knows, Macy and Kylie and Molly and the scene, they always look like that way. But the whole of the team is starting to look that way when they step on the field. And I like that.
Yeah, no, their demeanor has definitely changed. I definitely like how we're now going into these games and how we're playing and how we're kind of taking control early, or at least we're trying to. I did like what Tom said. He said, like, the team, like, yeah, today there are moments where they bend, but they never did break. So that's really good. think
They
that's good.
definitely explain what we were talking about earlier so much better, which
Yes.
is he always does. We should really just like watch, and then we should play the clip first in the future, and then be like, oh yeah, that's what we were trying to say
Right.
earlier. Is that we're just more comfortable sending bodies forward because we have that talent, and they want to squeeze the orange, and they trust them, and that doesn't mean sometimes we're gonna give goals. We saw it, Arizona State. They're gonna get us, but that comes down to just not turning it over. There was a couple, every chance that they got tonight against us was a sloppy moment of play in the midfield. And that is where this team is. They've started to get in the finishing, their confidence. Man, if they could, I'm not saying you're never going to turn the ball over. Let's be real. Good teams are going to turn you over once in a while. But
Right.
like the unforced ones, if you will. If they could really eliminate those, Tyler, I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself and get excited about the postseason, but there's some fun things happening with this team. First things first, though, they have to go to Colorado. And it's a funny one because what we just talked about, it doesn't necessarily have like win and you're in implications. Like I think we're past that for both teams. If you hadn't dropped a game like maybe to San Francisco earlier in the year, if we're just being frank, this would really mean not much, really, except for the Big 12 title, because you'd probably both be like top 5 seeds in the or top 5 RPI teams or top 10 RPI teams already, and you'd just be kind of like battling for seeding in the in the NCAA tournament. Now it's like, yeah, it has to do with the Big 12. Now you're trying to fight for like get yourself in that 2 range because you're not quite there, and this is your chance to like go up and make up for maybe some ground you lost earlier in the year, and that's exciting because you have that chance to go do that. That sour taste in their mouth. Let's go make up for that. You've been doing that in the last few weeks. You put yourself in this position. This is kind of that. I don't want to say the last check on the list because you have to take care of business after that. But this is a top 10 opportunity. You do this, they cannot refuse you from being, I don't think, if you continue to win out, from being a top 2 seed. Like, that would be wild if you beat Colorado and win the Big 12, and that all starts here. And that's the thing about this team is, like, if you ask them, Tyler, this would be a great question. I guess I could ask it. But we usually don't talk to players before games, so that's fine. Maybe afterwards. But I do wonder if you ask them if they see this game as more of like an opportunity to get a 2 seed, or if they see this game more as an opportunity to win the Big 12. I think most of them would be like, no, this is like, we need to get a good seed in the tournament because we want to go on a run, because that's what this team always talks about. Like, I don't know. I think that's kind of more what this game is it's more about November than it is the Big 12. It absolutely matters for the Big 12. These teams are 1 point apart. We'll see how Colorado does tomorrow night against BYU. But like for Texas Tech's perspective, I think it's more exciting because of what it could do for your seed line. For me.
I think I think it also at some point will have to go like hand in hand, almost like
Yeah, they definitely go hand in hand. If you beat
right,
Colorado, you're in there. But like if
right.
in this hypothetical world where you were like, hey, would y'all rather have a 2 seed or hey, a 1 seed? Let's get crazy. A 1 or a 2 seed, or would you rather win the Big 12? I think this team's
Oh
like,
yeah, no,
we'd rather have a
100%.
1 or a
Yeah,
2 seed, like TCU, whatever. They can have the Big 12 tournament. Cool. We're gonna go make a run in November. I think that's kind of where this team's head's at because they've already said that. That's what I'm saying. Is like I think while a lot of people are gonna talk about this as a Big 12 championship game, which it absolutely is, I think they're more looking at it as like, this is a step towards doing what we want to do in November and a huge opportunity game. Let them know why, though, Tyler, because all the numbers are very impressive in this game.
Yeah. So Colorado, they're 11-2-2, and then they're 5-1-1 in conference. They are undefeated at home. They're 8-0-2 at home. They only have 2 draws on the season. They're number 9 in the NCAA RPI. That was updated as of today. Don't know what it is as you're watching it now on Monday. I'm sure they stayed about the same. They are. Oh, okay. Yeah, while Shelby's looking that up, they're ranked number 21 in the United Soccer Coaches poll. That obviously is going to come out later this week to see where they are going to be ranked now. They should, depending on how they do against BYU tonight at BYU, that'll kind of really depend on where they'll land in things. Their top win on the season is against number 7 TCU 3-1. And that was in Fort Worth on the road. And then they also beat Arizona State as well when they were ranked. So that was another good win. And then their only losses to number 20 Baylor 1-2, which they had to play number 20 Baylor the Sunday after they played TCU on that Thursday. So it was a tough road trip for them.
Their schedule is probably the hardest in the Big 12. We were talking about that before. They've definitely got dealt probably the toughest hand in the Big 12, and they've been handling it well. But Yeah, they're good. I think they also beat Michigan State or tie with Michigan State in the
Hmm.
non-con or something like that. That's been giving them good RPI numbers. But it's crazy, yeah. They are 10 right now in the RPI
10,
as
so
of
they
end
dropped
of
one.
tonight.
Okay.
So still top 10. As of right now, this is Sunday night as we're recording this. It could change tomorrow morning or after the BYU game, certainly. There are more Big 12 teams in the top 10 of the RPI than the ACC. 4 to 3.
Wow.
Craziness. Anyway,
Who are the four? It's Colorado, TCU, Baylor, and then West Virginia.
West Virginia, that's just a byproduct of RPI being silly. They're a good team, but like you
Right.
look at their who have they
They
beat?
just tie everybody.
Yeah, they don't have any bad losses. They just
Yeah.
don't have any huge wins, but they've played well. And maybe they're
Right.
like, yeah, if we got to play overtime, we'd beat all these people. I'm like, all right, bet, fair enough.
That's how that works. But yeah, Colorado, they have probably one of the best offenses in the country, and that's led by their star player Hope Leba. Is that how you say her last name?
I
Leba,
believe so. Yeah.
forward, and she has a twin sister, Faith Leba, who is a defender as well, who actually made Big 12 first team defender or first team whatever
It's
the
very good.
yeah, she won the award last year. So both sisters are very, very good. Jace Hawley is also another big one. That's also their second leading goal scorer. She's a forward. Emerson Lane is a midfielder along with Reagan Kacha. And then Kaylee Swirenga is also another pretty big defender for them. Hope Leba is second in the country in goals on the season, and Colorado has the ninth best scoring offense in the entire country.
Chill.
Yeah, chill. That's pretty big stat that we have to go up against. Goals leading this goals for Colorado. Hope Leba has 14, Jace Hawley has 11, Emerson Lane has 5, and Reagan Kochow has 4. And assists, Emerson Lane and Kaylee Swirenga both have 7. Jordan Whitaker has 5. Jace Hawley and Ruby Hayward have 4, and Reagan Kochow has 3. Shots, no surprise. Hope Leba leads that with 55 shots and 25 shots on goal. That's pretty scary stat right there. Jace Hawley has 35 shots and 20 shots on goal. Emerson Lane has 28 shots and 12 shots on goal. And Reagan Kacha has 22 shots and 11 shots on goal. And then their goalkeeper, she's pretty good too. Only has 11 goals allowed all season and 65 saves. This is going to be a tall task for Red Raider soccer, but I think we could be able to pull it off. But this offense is not anyone to mess around with. Like defense is going to have to be on their A game.
Yeah, and it's interesting the way they go about it, right? Like you'll look at if you go look at a lot of their box scores, like I even just pulled up today's because I hadn't really paid attention to. I know they beat Utah today 2-0, but once again, Utah outshot Colorado 22-10. Colorado won 2-0. If you go back to the TCU game, it's something like crazy, like we talked about it before on here, like 26-3 in all three of them, 26-9 total shots, 10 and 3 of them were on goal for Colorado. All 3 were scored. They're very efficient in the way that they attack and the way that they finish. And so they're not a possession team. Doesn't mean they don't want the ball, by all means, but that they don't need. They get it. They're going long shots over the top. They're waiting for the counter, which we just talked about how we're playing. We might change a little. I don't know. We'll leave that to the coaches. I'm definitely not smart enough to know the answer to that, but I am intrigued to watch how these two teams go at it, because in some ways Colorado's looking at us and being like, oh, they're gonna send their outside backs for it. Bet we're gonna shoot balls over the top, right? But we could also catch them slipping on the other end because they're trying to get balls over. So it's Kansas like in a way, but Colorado's a lot more dangerous at it. Hope is like a horse, like just a big player. Kylie is strong, but this might be the closest person that could maybe like I would love to see these two go at a ball and like try to like box each other out. You know how soccer players do that?
Right.
And just see who won. Like I just want to see that drill between Kylie Barr and her just one time to see who won, like trying to block each other out. That's gonna be a fun matchup. But also our center backs are gonna have to keep doing it. Eleanor Hayes, we talked about her being pretty strong. Emily, keep doing what they're doing. They're gonna get caught in 1v1 moments against her most likely. Because of how both teams play, and that's how Colorado does to everybody. And it's going to be about how we stand tall in those moments. So she's fun, but she's not alone. Like you said, there's a lot of other really good. Jace Hawley's fun to watch. She's also up there in assist in the Big 12 I believe, as well. If I'm making that up, someone on their team is up there, and this Emerson Lane is kind of hanging up there with Macy. They did play some kind of like really bad teams in the non-con, so some of their goal stats perhaps are inflated a little bit, but overall in the Big 12, they're first in scoring this year. If you count non-con, and fourth in goals allowed. Texas Tech overall is fourth in scoring and first in goals allowed overall on the season. In conference play, Colorado is fifth in scoring, so it's dropped down a little bit. But their defense has somehow gotten better. They're second behind us in goals allowed. They're tied with Baylor as well. So they're just dangerous. They're fun. The Leba sisters, insane family. I can't imagine the one-on-one games of soccer that had to have been going on in their backyard growing up. The nosebleeds, the bruises, the broken walls of whatever was sitting behind the goal that Hope was shooting into past Faith all the time. They're fun to watch, but there's a lot of really good players. So it's just the clashing of styles in a way that I, as a soccer fan, I genuinely cannot wait to watch this game. And we saw it last year, but Colorado's better this year. They added some good pieces in the portal. The Leba sisters are just older. I think they're juniors now. The whole team is just playing a little bit better. They have the reigning Big 12 goalkeeper of the year back there in goal. Now, she will try to cheat out sometimes, try to come forward like we've seen these teams recently do, because they will kind of do what they do about shooting the ball over, and she's someone that can kind of be she can be the assist sometimes up the field to Leba. Like, she can really boot it up there. So yeah, we're just gonna have to play good soccer. There's not much deeper than that when it comes to this game, Tyler. These are two really good soccer teams. This is another NCAA level matchup, and the way TCU was, it's just different. You knew TCU was going to want possession, and they were probably going to win possession. And you were going to have to be the team that would go and find goals without leading in possession, which is what we did, and we're comfortable doing that. Colorado's very comfortable doing that, like in a different way than we are. We still want possession, and we want to build up the field. They'll just take shots and just cut quick hitters, and they'll go. And not necessarily always counterattacks, but we certainly cannot be turning the ball over on their end with Hope Label just hanging out down there ready to snipe you. Yeah, I think there are some opportunities for our flank players to take on theirs. You have the Leba sister. I think is she an outside back? I can't remember. I think she's a center back, so I think she's in the middle. But I wouldn't be shocked if she finds herself hanging out on the Macy side of things. But yeah, it's good. It's a good matchup of soccer. I've watched them play a few times. I'm really excited to watch them play, which y'all will be watching it tonight against BYU. I think that'll be a really good learning thing for them and for us, because we talked about it before, but BYU has really good speed on the flanks as well. And that's kind of how we play, is from the outside. And so it's a little bit of a test for both teams to see how they handle it and how Colorado can handle it with us. Different players. No one has Macy Blackburn but us. Let's be clear.
Yes. Let's be clear. And I think that them playing BYU tonight is definitely could be used to our advantage, just because we technically do get like another rest day in a sense. So maybe we use that to our advantage. I'm not sure, but looking at what the analytics are saying per Massey, the computer that does not have he pronouns apparently. But Massey, it says that Colorado, they're ranked number 17. We're ranked number 9. We went up 1 since last week. Colorado's offense is number 17. We're number 22. Colorado's defense is number 34. We're number 13. So they have the upper hand on offense. We have the upper hand on defense. Not surprising there. It only says that we have a 38% chance to win, but they're predicting a tie of 1-1. You asked me for my prediction. I'm predicting a Red Raider win 2-1. And one of those goals is going to be from Colorado native. This is a really deep sleeper one, but I'm going with Skylar Haase.
Oh.
Sky's going to get us the goal.
Oh my God, that would be like on a corner, like heads it in.
Oh, yeah.
Just get up there on the corner.
Yes.
I'm here for that. I'm going to go another Colorado native and Kylie, because I'm just going to like start speaking that into existence. Maybe she just needs the Colorado air in her lungs to get it. The most realistic Colorado one to get it is likely Brawley, the way she's playing. But Molly Skrasinski, what if she gets one in this? We're just gonna go all Colorado players. I mean, we have so many on this team. We can list them all off. We got a good group, so hopefully that helps with the whole altitude thing that they usually have an advantage at home. Lubbock's not super. I mean, like what, 1,500?
Yeah, it's like a 1,500 difference.
1,800. That's not too much, I don't think. But that is something to be a factor, I suppose. But we have a lot of players from there. We play well when we went to Denver. Same place, essentially. So, yeah. This is the first game I think all year. Maybe Baylor. I can't remember if we were favored to beat Baylor or not. Were we by Massey? But Massey does give Colorado a 42% chance to win. They're picking a tie, but their percentage is slightly higher than ours.
Okay.
Baylor might have been the only one that's been that way, and we saw how that had happened. So it's going to take that level of intensity. Let me rephrase. It's going to take that level of intensity that we play with at Baylor in the second half for the whole game.
Yes.
But we can absolutely beat them. We were talking before, I don't think if we win, it's an upset. I don't think if Colorado wins, it's an upset. I think these are two teams that metrically and NCAA tournament hopes, seed line are very even. And I think this is a game that the committee will be like, okay, who won head to head? That's who gets the 2 seed. That's who gets the 3 seed. I genuinely think that is what they're playing for. Yes, the Big 12 title, absolutely. That's all gonna come with it. But I do think this is like, oh, okay, they're both in the same seed line. Who won head to head? We have to go with that team. They're evenly matched as far as what's happened so far. Our team is sitting there like, no, it's not even. We're gonna go win, which I love. And we'll get to see that. But yeah, it should be good soccer. I'm excited. So we're just picking all the Colorado players to score. Just someone from Colorado is going to score. Once again, though, we're not greedy soccer gods. Anybody can score. Anybody at all.
Let it be
Anybody
a win.
At all.
Not a draw, not a loss, but a win.
A win. We need a win.
Yes.
That was something that the broadcast in the ESPNU game Arizona was impressed with. I guess they were talking to our players earlier in the week, and Tom and the girl, I can't remember her name, but she played at Virginia Tech back when Virginia Tech was actually good and made it to the College Cup. And she said what was impressing her when she talked to Texas Tech was how they weren't talking about going on the road and just trying to get a point. They were talking about going on the road and getting a win. She was like, it's like a there was like no, let's go get some points. It was like, no, let's go get some wins. And she said she was really impressed by that. And I mean, we hear that from the team all the time, so that's not surprising, but it is true. It's a different attitude than some teams would just be like, just go try to get a point. Like, no, we know what the situation is here.
Right.
We're fine. A tie's like not going to knock us out of NCAA tournament hopes or anything. We're there. But they're trying to get a postseed. Go do it. It's exciting. The opportunity's there. There's no nerves here. You're in. This is a chance to go get a home seed. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait. Like, I'm like, let's go. I mean, they definitely don't want me on the field, but like, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? You would not win.
It's all ahead of us.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So, any other thoughts before we move on? We'll talk about that game results. Hopefully, it's the hypest episode we've done all year. Going crazy on Thursday night when we record this after the Colorado game. Another late one. Oh, it's 8 p.m., by the way, Central.
Yes.
ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus.
And we will recap that. It will be out Friday morning, and then we'll preview. They're back home later this week on Sunday. Finally, they've been gone for a while against K-State on Sunday, but we'll preview that in the next episode.
Yes. Yeah, I think we go ahead and we'll kind of bring the vibes down a little bit, and let's talk about this football game that happened on Saturday night. Afternoon, evening.
Here's my thing. I just need people to chill. Like,
yeah.
Do y'all not watch other sports? Like, I mean, the team we were just talking about, they lost to San Francisco earlier in the year. Like, it sucked, but you learn from it and you move on. I think too many of our fans are not used to success, maybe, and they think like, oh, we lost, it's over. We're gonna fall apart from here. I'm like, what a terrible way to think. Like, go get a milkshake, chillax, let the team figure it out. The team's already well moved on. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. In some ways, this could be very good for this team. And I'm not just blowing smoke. Because there are issues that this team has been getting by with in these blowouts that they could not get by with in this game because they were missing their starting quarterback and he couldn't we couldn't get enough offense going to even get field goals to take advantage of when the defense was getting stops. That eventually it just got away from us until it didn't. We came back. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there's things that the secondary has been an issue all year when the quarterback has time, right? And I don't just mean blown coverages. They did kind of fix the blown coverage thing in the second half. That was promising. So they took a step forward there. But the grabbing and the panic grabbing every time the ball's near them if their head's not turned, that has to get fixed, or we're not going to win enough games to get there. Some of the time management stuff in this game, I didn't quite understand that, but above my pay grade. But I would take a look at that. Why did we have them re-kick the ball at the end of the game? I think we could have declined the penalty. I don't know why we couldn't have there. Things like that where we've seen issues all year, penalties at poor times. The pass interference was definitely pass interference. The roughing the passer, we can debate that, but it was there. And some other ones throughout the game that kind of stalled drives, holding penalty at midfield when we were driving early in the game. These things that we've been getting away with, we didn't get away with in this game because the ball didn't bounce our way. We forced 3 fumbles in the third quarter, I think, and they all bounced the wrong way. In past games, those bounced our way. So it helped us get away with that stuff. That didn't happen. We didn't get any help, and we shot ourselves in the foot too many times, and you saw it play out. So if they can fix these things and they use this to build on it, you're a much better team. And that is what sports is. I'd rather them lose now than get their face kicked in when they got to the playoff, if they make it there, or the Big 12 championship game, because they never had to get better. So I think that's the way I look at it. I mean, that's how I look at it for every sport. I know some people aren't that way and they lose their shit, and some of y'all just need to chill. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like let them be mad. Okay, cool, but like the season's not over. Like we lost to the defending champions. We didn't lose to like nobody. It's just with our backup quarterback. Like I just don't think people are thinking. I think it's because so many people see Will Hammond as like the savior, and I think he's gonna be good. Don't get me wrong, but I've tried to like temper y'all's expectations on his show because you don't replace a 5th-year senior with a redshirt freshman and think that it's gonna go as well. You just don't. And I think people maybe learn that, and so maybe that's why they're not taking that into consideration as much. But like we didn't have our quarterback in that game. And I do think if you have Baron Morton, you score more than 7 points before there's 4 minutes left in the game. I'm not saying it's groundbreaking, but I think we have a couple more field goals at that point, at least. And then you win the game at the end instead of whatever happened. So you can give the summary of the game, but that's my plea to people is like, just chill. Like, this is sports. This is what championships teams have to do. They have to lose to get better. College football's a real sport. It's not a fake sport anymore. You can lose a game and still get in the playoff. Like, this is not the BCS era.
Right.
Rant
I mean, it's not. Yeah. I mean, it's not. And I don't know. When you look at this game, there's a lot of frustrating aspects. I mean, the defense, especially that D line, was really working hard like the entire game. I mean, they were forcing sacks. As you said, they were forcing the fumbles. I mean, everybody was doing their part, and it was just frustrating to see that the offense just wasn't able to really get anything generated. You thought maybe when we scored that first touchdown that, oh, okay, like maybe like this is gonna get us somewhere, and then it ended up just being like, oh, Arizona State's just going to score more and more and more, and we're just going to go on these long, like 3-and-out drives, or we're not going to utilize, Cam Dickey, who has been shown that he's able to get first downs, throughout the game. Like, it was just kind of frustrating. I mean, he only had, it looks like he only had like 40-something rushing yards.
I think he only had 11 touches total.
Yeah. So, I mean, he didn't get a lot of touches in this. And I mean, we already knew that Will Hammond was more of your rushing quarterback, not your passing. And that's where you saw that discrepancy where it's like, if we had Barron in, we probably could have exposed them because I think former Tech quarterback Henry Colombi made up a great point on Twitter. Either way you look at it, this is the same Arizona State defense. So, yeah, while the defense had to now be prepared for Sam Leavitt on Arizona State's side or whatever, and Sam Leavitt was doing his thing, this is still the same defense that was out there for Arizona State. And Utah was able to put up 42 points on them. And we still weren't able to do that with our offense that did put up almost that same exact amount of points on Utah earlier in the year. So it's like, what happened? Why was this why was the math not mathing here, right? And it was just a good point to be brought up. Why couldn't we get anything going? And it was just some play calling I think was questionable at times, but it also could have been on our side too. I mean, I think you mentioned or we were texting about it like that weird 4th and 6 play. Most of the time you
That
pass the
was
ball
just a
there, but
bad.
then it was just a
It was
change
a
of play
bad.
call almost on Will. I don't know. I couldn't
It
really.
was. He
Yeah.
definitely checked into that play. But he was also given the call that I mean they gave him one play and they said, "Hey, if you see this look, check into this." So like he
Mhm.
saw a look and he checked into it, but he got tricked is what it was. Cuz they showed him like I think cover 0 and then that they were going to come after him. And that is a great call for that. But I think it might have been Henry as well. He talked about this too, but it's true. It's like he's like that is a good look for cover 0, but like if it's like a 4th and 2, not a 4th and 6, he's like I wouldn't even run that. So just the whole thing didn't make sense going to the near side. Like that's again, like that's stuff that we've gotten away with at times this season in blowouts where we like have a drive or two here where it's like what were we thinking? And I like Leftwich. I think he's a great coach, and people need to chill. But he is his
Oh, yeah,
first
no,
year
for
at a
sure.
power conference school in these type of games, going up against these type of athletes and these teams, and I think he is figuring it out sometimes, and that can be frustrating. And I think we haven't put him in a situation where he had to really test that, and that just was not a good call. The other thing to speak about their defense is Kenny Dillingham after the game said you should go watch his press conference. It's pretty good. He was talking about how he's like, I will never allow my team to not play with an edge basically ever again. He's like, we kind of lost that because of winning the Big 12 and all these things after getting their teeth kicked in against Utah. He said this was the hardest week of practice we've had in 3 years basically. Like they were hitting hard. They were not going soft. They were not worried about people getting injured in practice. They were going full game speed in every practice this week. And you saw that the way that they were tackling. They didn't miss tackles. So we didn't get help with them. Like we're usually pretty good at breaking tackles, which Joey talked about too. He's like we weren't able to break tackles in this game. They were that was the best tackling team we've played all year, and so then that stalled drives. So I think it's they had their bad game the week before, and they got better from it, a lot better. The question is can we do the same? Because we have not had to face this adversity. We did a pretty good job of facing it in game, like Joey said. We came back. That was really cool. I never saw the team quit. Never thought they were going to quit. You always kind of felt like we were in the game because, like, the
Right.
defense was giving you a chance. You're like, if you could just score here, like, you're in the game. And you always felt that way. And we finally scored the big or punt return from Coy. Massive moment. First play, yeah, in hindsight, wish you could run clock, but, like, absolutely not because then we wouldn't have scored. So we score. We have a lead, and you're like, what just happened? And then, because football is football, our defense couldn't get the stop. They had them at 4th and 2. And again, questionable, like, I mean, Jordan Tyson's arguably the best receiver in the Big 12. We talked about it, at least statistically. And he got open, but, like, he was very open. So that was odd on 4th and 2. So just like questionable moments and big intense moments where we just didn't make the right call / or the players didn't execute. And that's where it gets tricky. It's very easy for us to be like, what kind of effing call was that? When in reality, it's like, well, what was the call? We don't know. So the call could have been one thing and the players just blew the execution. And Jacob Rodriguez and Corey kind of owned up to some blown execution on their behalf in the post game. So it's probably a mix of both, but those are things that have been happening all year in small moments. But those small moments were very big in this game because it was a close game, and you weren't getting breaks that were helping you. So if you get better from this is that game you look back on and you're like, that was a catalyst. That's where we got better. And I think if you do the math, if we win a national championship, because obviously that's what's going to happen, I think we would be 15-1, which would be 15-1, Tyler. You see where I'm going with this? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Right,
I
right,
mean,
right. Yeah, it's a sin.
as a writer, I mean, field day with that meant to be. So yeah, I don't know. I think we went in with not a great game plan. I think we assumed we were going to be able to run the ball, and that's why Cam Dickey didn't touch the ball until the third drive of the game, which is outrageous. We couldn't run the ball with Will, and it took us a little bit too long to adjust. Will just didn't look confident until the very end of the game, and then he had his swagger back, and then it was like, okay, I think if that went to overtime, I think we might have won because Will was playing kind of like himself again. but he just couldn't get there because if it was the preparation, we thought we were going to be able to do one thing, we couldn't, and he didn't know what to do, or if he just wasn't executing. These are things we don't know. So I can make assumptions, but we really do not know because we're not at practice, and no one knows the answers to this besides the players. But what I do know is it can't happen again. I mean, we've said that with soccer. We're even. We say it about every team, is it can't happen again. That's what we said about the San Francisco thing, said about the Houston draw, it can't happen again. And that team so far has been able to kind of learn from it. Can football learn from it and go on a run and win the Big 12 from this moment? I think you'll be a better football team because of this game if you don't crumble. They do need to get healthy, though. TC, concerning. That could be out for a bit. President of his fan club. That makes me sad, but we'll see. Obviously, we learned that SGH got surgery after all. I do think there's a chance he can come back for the playoff if they make it there, but you're going to have to win the Big 12 without him. Things like that are going to have to fall in your favor. Barron needs to come back, and if not, I think Will be better, and he'll keep getting better. But, yeah. Coaches, players, everybody has to be better overall. There's a lot of inexperience on this team as far as big moments goes, and you kind of saw that. Arizona State, like it or not, has been there. They won the Big 12 last year.
Right.
We haven't been in those, so I do think we got out executed a little bit. If you want to lean that to out coached, I think any game you lose, you got out coached. Personally, I think that's a fair statement. That's sports, but that's not a harsh thing on Joey. I just think if he lost, he'd probably say the same thing. So, gotta get better, please. And that's where I'm at. I'm pretty chill about it, to be honest. They're either gonna get better or they're not. Like, we'll find out on Saturday against a terrible Oklahoma State team. But you better make them look terrible.
Oh yeah, we better run them out. We better run them out of the field. I mean,
I think the spread is like 35 points, which is outrageous for a conference game.
It's something insane. I mean, I think
we'll talk about that on Friday, but yeah.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity to make a statement, and I mean, yeah, just too many. And I think the other thing too that wasn't helping us either was like the defense was out there the entire time, and Arizona State was just running that clock like insane. I think Arizona State was basically trying to do like what Kansas's plan was going to be if they kept it close, like just run the clock out each time and like don't give us any time to work. And then under pressure though, we did pretty good. So I mean, we looked really good. And then, like you said, on the defensive end, I mean, yeah, that 33-yard pass was not helpful. But then, like, even after that, there was just like silly little penalties, like with the pass interference call and then another 8-yard pass. I mean, those start to build up. And then eventually you get them down to your 2-yard line. It's like, I mean, at that point, you know, you appreciate the defense, like trying to hold up and try to get a stop there. But then it was like, could have gotten more time, I guess, if you wouldn't have let the touchdown happen. It's all logistics that we'll have to get figured out, like, later.
It's just moments where... Yeah, just moments of this game where, like, what the F are we doing? And fix it. Fix it or don't.
We'll learn from it.
It's fix it or don't, and they're going to try to fix it, is all you could hope. I mean, there's a weird punt formation that was whack. I still don't understand what we were trying to do there. There was the grabbing people in the end zone for no reason. There was the making them re-kick it and losing 10 seconds plus 5 yards that I still do not understand. We still could have caught the Hail Mary. Also, why did we run a Hail Mary play from the 28-yard line? Why didn't we just run a play? Like, these are all things that are easy to question in hindsight, but I also think foresight, I was questioning them as well. So I feel comfortable questioning them in hindsight because I was literally asking those questions like, I was like, surely we're not going to run a Hail Mary here. Surely we're going to run a play. Surely we're going to deny this penalty. We didn't. What the hell is going on with this punt formation? Like, these are all things that were happening in real time. Of course, if they work out, then I'm like, oh, wow, they're geniuses. But it didn't. So now we question them, and now we see how they answer this week. I'm excited. It's more fun this way. I don't know.
I think so, yeah. I mean, you're playing on the line now. So. I mean, like, everything's on the line. You have to basically win out to keep your Big 12 title hopes alive, and also hope that Cincinnati will finally drop a game as well. I mean, it's kind of all out there now. Like, it's make it or break it, and maybe this team will play better under this. Maybe this team will play better under now this, like, almost new pressure. The AP poll, they hate the Big 12, but you know what? I'm going to take our 14 ranking because I really thought they may have kicked us way down. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's fair. We'll take it and we'll get back into the top 10 soon because we're gonna just work at it and work at it and work at it. But
We'll
we're gonna
be
have to
there
clean up some
very
things.
quickly because
Yeah.
you have Oklahoma State, and then when does BYU come to town? They're probably going to be a top 10 team when they come to
November
town. You
8th.
be
So
yeah,
2 weeks.
a few weeks. Yeah, you have a couple of weeks. It's
Road trip in
all
Manhattan to do
it's
something.
it's literally soccer over again. I
Yeah.
know not everybody watches our soccer show, part of the show, but I'm telling you right now, we've been saying this all year for soccer, and it's playing out because that's the soccer program does this every year. I know you're very new to this, football fans, of having a program that can compete for a championship. Sometimes you're going to lose games that you shouldn't. But if you're a championship program, you get better and you go and win it. Soccer, we're like, they're going to figure it out. We know that. And there's a little question mark. Can football figure it out? Will they get better from this? Or will this
They
be a
will.
moment? I'm going to choose to believe they're going to get better until they show me that they're not. And then that's when a whole other conversation has to happen. And I don't want to have that conversation. And I don't think we need to. Because I'm hopefully going to get better. But they have to get better. So I think in the long run, we're going to all look back and be like, oh, God, I'm so glad we lost to Arizona State. I genuinely mean that. I mean, Arizona State says that about us last year. Lost to us, and that changed their whole season. Now we're going to lose to them, and it's going to change our season. You have to get knocked down before you can grow. Like, was it your muscles have to tear before they can grow into muscles? It's a whole physiology thing, guys. I can go on as long as you want me to. Anybody that's ever been in a locker room knows this. Our fans are a little delusional. But the players, I guarantee, have already moved on. They're already looking at the film and they're getting better. Let them get better, and we'll find out on Saturday how much better they are.
Let's do it.
Go team. All right. Quickly, volleyball lost, got swept by OU. I mean, OU. That would be wild. A number 19 BYU team. It was tough. I mean, we were competitive at times in that match. I did watch most of it. But we just also BYU just looked better than us, which BYU I think is like won the most volleyball, second most volleyball games in volleyball history behind Nebraska or some absurd stat as a program.
We're good.
So they're like a volleyball power. We all get this, but I think there was opportunities that we were hoping to be able to win there. I think I would have liked to see a team that was a little bit less sloppy with the week off, but maybe that's my ignorance with volleyball. But there's still good moments. You see some of the really good talent with these young players. It's just not coming together yet. But another chance at a ranked opponent. All you need is one to get the mojo going, right, Tyler? Hopefully, when is that game? They play number 24.
Yes, they play number 24
Wednesday?
Colorado Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
There we go.
At home. It's study break night. Coach Greystone specifically said that this is the game he wants like the most students to attend. They're giving away in my Red Raider era T-shirt. It looks pretty cool.
But
so
I'll try to be there. I'll try to be there.
Yeah, so y'all be there, support them. I mean, yeah, it's been a tough year, but we're gonna get our first Big 12 win. Hopefully we can win in October. Let's not let this be like a thing where, we haven't won in October in so many whatever business days. Let's just win.
I don't even want to know that stat. If that's a true stat, I don't want to know it.
No, I think we won in October last year, though. We did. So yeah, we're good. We just don't want to start a new trend.
Yeah, we don't. Absolutely not. We want to win a game. Get off the schneid, as they say. Get one win. Gotta get it a win. They gotta figure it out. But go support them. It's not a lack of they're working, but they gotta figure it out. So that's volleyball, and then we'll wrap it up. We teased you with it. The Lady Raiders had a secret scrimmage that's absolutely not secret because it's blasted all over the internet. I wasn't going to share about it until old Skim Mulkey posted about it. So now that it's out there, if you don't follow him, the score is out there, so I'll share it. 104-69. The Lady Raiders beat UTEP. Not a great team. Let's not get it twisted. But as I said to Tyler, it's nice to see that we're taking out the trash and not playing with the trash. That's how I summarize that. I'm not going to give out score point totals for players, but I'll say that your stars in this game look like stars, it sounds like. You had, it sounds like Jalen Bristow, Danae Fritz, Bailey Maupin, and Snowda Collins. If you don't know that name, learn the name. All had very good games. And defensively, I think maybe even the score at the end maybe was they were trying some things out in the fourth quarter as well. But yeah, good start to their scrimmage games. We'll see. They play, which is also not secret anymore because it's been posted on the internet. They play A&M, Texas A&M, later this week, I think, or at some point before fall's up. So that'll be another one. And then it's November 4th, right? Like, we're not that far
November
away.
3rd.
3rd. Yeah, we're not like less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks away by the time you're
Yep.
watching this. Insanity. And we'll actually be able to go because I forgot soccer got pushed back a week. So they're not even starting postseason. Usually it's the same time. So, like, I'll be able to go to the first basketball games, cover them, still do soccer. It's going to be good times. I can't wait. It's going to be a fun team. We're going to do a big basketball episode probably like the week before the season starts. We'll record it. We'll have all the info as what we think will happen, or maybe just tell you who's on the team because I've given up predicting. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm excited. I like the players on this team. I've said that before. Dogs over divas. That's the vibe they're giving. I'm hoping it leads to some wins, Tyler. Let them sleep.
Let them sleep. I think, yeah, I agree with you. The culture definitely, I think, is way more improved than last year's just by, the personalities that we've brought in. And I'm loving the new energy from this new coaching stuff as we talked about. And I think they're bringing that extra practice they got from the FISU World Games. And I think they're really going to use it to their advantage. And yeah, I'm super excited. Hopefully, Skim will release that Texas A&M score and we beat up some Aggies. That would
We
be
can
really
tell you
hype.
all about
Jada
it.
Malone's
Yeah.
former team, have her pop
That's
off
right.
against them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yep. Show them who's
No one will get to
boss.
see it.
Finish 70% at the rim or whatever her crazy stat was. But yeah, let's have a great Lady Raiders season. But yeah, I can't wait to preview them. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm ready for basketball. I've been biting my tongue.
I know.
All the sports are going on, but
I
y'all know
know.
me. I could talk about basketball for
junkies here.
5 hours. we could lose every game and I could still talk about them for 5 hours. I don't want
literally.
to do that, to be clear.
No, yeah.
Please don't make me
Not
do it.
anymore. Not anymore. I will throw
For
tables.
my
Not anymore.
mental health reasons,
Yes.
I shouldn't do that, but I could do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that about football. I'd just be like, I'm just so over it. Like, let's not. But basketball, I just like, we sucked, but this play was really cool. Like, I
Right.
could give you anything. So I'm excited for them to get underway. Men's basketball, I believe, had a scrimmage the other day as well. I saw some hints of that, but I don't know anything that can be said other than I think it might have went okay. I'm not talking about the one that they lost. I think they had another one. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. So that's basketball for you. We'll have more as it comes out. Until next time, that's all I have, Tyler. Anything from you? Otherwise,
I got
wreck 'em.
Rackham.